If more women were in positions of power, this would be a much safer and much more beautiful world.
So my first question that I wanted to ask is, I noticed that your mom is an executive producer on the film, and when I was watching the movie, this line stuck with me where you said, "My parents told me I could do anything," so it just never even crossed my mind that I shouldn't try. Just thinking about, your mom and getting to work with her and seeing those tidbits in the movie, I was wondering if there was any influence from your mom.
I might be biased, but I think I'm the luckiest girl in the world to be my mother's daughter. She's just the most extraordinary heart. She's my compass and my ground, and most importantly, I think a protector of my heart. To have her by my side as an executive producer on the films that I do is really special. She's not only extraordinary, but she's also really wise and intelligent.
In the film, there were dark moments, but I love how you weaved in the humor and the light of life, and the parts with your mom too, so I really love that.
Yeah, I think when you lose people in life, and when you suffer, you can make a really brave choice to live in gratitude and to understand the preciousness of life and that all we have is promised is right now, and that's how my mom lives her life. And I strive to remind myself of that every day.
So then I also wanted to ask you if you could give Anna one piece of advice, as yourself giving it to Anna, what would it be before she took that flight off to Oxford?
That's a great question. I would tell her what I think she ends up learning in the movie, but is to just absorb every single second of that year, which I think that was her plan, except she planned on doing that by planning every single second rather than living every single second. But that's the beautiful thing of life, is that through love and loss, I think we become fuller versions of ourselves, which is what happens to Anna.
Going off what you're saying with, you might plan something and it doesn't happen that way, was there a time or a dream or something that you were chasing or something that you thought you had planned out and it didn't go the way you wanted, but was there a lesson you learned or something beautiful that came out of it?
I think unexpected can happen in different ways, and I don't think many people know this, but in filming this movie, I lost one of the most important people in my life. My grandmother, who was a second mother to me, she passed when we had 3 weeks left of filming. So a lot of this movie and a lot of those really emotional scenes, I filmed straight off of a plane after losing her. And I think it just reminds us of the preciousness of life. And now in one moment everything is fine and all of a sudden it's not. And I think when you choose to see the light in that, life can be a really beautiful thing. And I think that's one of the greatest lessons we learn through loss.
Thank you for sharing that. I just want to tell you, that's also why I felt inclined to ask you the question. I could really feel it through the screen. I really felt that when you were acting, but I could really feel your emotions through it. So I think you did a beautiful job, and I think this will really resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah, the scene when Anna and Jamie's disclosing to Anna about his sickness when they're walking through Oxford at night. I had just landed from Colombia, and they were, it was the funeral was happening at the same time, so it was all very, very real for me in that moment, yeah.
Well, thank you for continuing to do the work, and again, this will really resonate with people. So then let's talk about something light.
Yes.
I was dying to know this answer. Were there any rom-coms that you're binge watching or studying, or any maybe character that you're oh, I love this actress, she did an amazing job?
Big reference for us was Love Story and The Way We Were. Not only for Anna, but also the cinematography and what we wanted our movie to look and feel like. And especially, I think timeless was what we were all striving for. It's an ode to the classics in some way, which I'm really happy to be able to present that to this young generation.
I love that. I know people would love to know that as well. I think some people might not know that you're a multi-hyphenate and your resume is very stacked.
Thank you.
Let's just brag. What have you done? Let's talk about it.
I like that. Okay, let's brag.
Yeah, let's brag.
It's been a really beautiful few years, especially the last year. I filmed 3 movies. I performed and released music with Andrea Bocelli. Also released music with Jimin from BTS. I released 2 movies. One of them, Carry On, became the second biggest film in the history of Netflix, joining my other film, Purple Hearts, in the top 10. And then The Lifeless came out in March, which was #1 in 70 countries for I think 5 weeks straight. And now my Oxford Year is coming out. And then most importantly, which I believe is the most important part of my job, is my work with UNICEF. I have continued to use my voice to do whatever I can to support their mission and to support young women around the world. That's a guess kind of a recap of the last year.
I love that. Also, I'm Korean, so the Jimin one was, I really love that.
That was pretty wild.
I love how you had, everything listed out. Like, I'm trying to also, brag about myself.
Yeah.
I think that we don't enough. People might pass judgment onto us, as women as well. Like, what's something, whether it's an assumption that's been made about you or something that, you just like to take this time to talk about?
That's a great question. I think as women in general, we are so often valued by our physical appearance, especially in this industry, and I feel very proud that my successes, I think, have nothing to do with that, and that I am not only an actor that works on camera, but I'm also an executive producer, and I develop, and I'm a UNICEF ambassador, and I hope pave the way for other young women who will come after me and who can understand that our value as women is so powerful, and that it really lies in using our voices and being unafraid to use our voices in rooms where they haven't always been welcomed. This is still an industry that is predominantly controlled by men. So to be a woman in my position, I understand is an immense privilege, and not one that I take lightly. I just hope that in my art and in the decisions that I make, I can hopefully make an impact on just one girl to know that nothing is impossible, and that your voice is your superpower, and that's your most extraordinary value.
I could feel that there were women behind the scenes when, in all the scenes, and
That
using your
means a lot.
voice.
Yeah, there was 3 female producers on this movie and a female writer. It's amazing. I've been lucky to work with a lot of extraordinary women in my career, and it's a blessing.